विनायका परिमुगने गणनायका परिमुगने गणनायका विघ्न विनाशक विनायका विघ्न विनाशक विनायका परिमुगने गणनायका परिमुगने गणनायका आदिमूलगण विनायका आदिमूलगण विनायका ज्ञानावली विनायका ज्ञानावली विनायका नमो कुमारा विनायका नमो कुमारा विनायका परिमुगने गणनायका परिमुगने गणनायका विघ्न विनाशक विनायका विघ्न विनाशक विनायका परिमुगने गणनायका परिमुगने गणनायका आदिमूलगण विनायका आदिमूलगण विनायका ज्ञानावली विनायका ज्ञानावली विनायका नमो कुमारा विनायका नमो कुमारा विनायका परिमुगने गणनायका परिमुगने गणनायका विघ्न विनाशक विनायका ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय। कल्याण मूर्ति कनकंद देवा कल्याण मूर्ति कनकंद देवा गोकुल वेंकटेशा गोकुल वेंकटेशा देवादि देवादि वेणुगणलोला देवादि देवादि वेणुगणलोला पद्मालक्ष्मी वल्लभा जय पद्मालक्ष्मी वल्लभा हरे राम 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 राघवा हरे राम 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 राघवा हरे कृष्ण 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 केशवा हरे कृष्ण 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 केशवा हरे राम 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 राघवा हरे राम 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 राघवा हरे कृष्ण 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 केशवा हरे कृष्ण 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 केशवा कल्याण मूर्ति कनकंद देवा कल्याण मूर्ति कनकंद देवा गोकुल वेंकटेशा गोकुल वेंकटेशा देवादि देवादि वेणुगणलोला देवादि देवादि वेणुगणलोला पद्मालक्ष्मी वल्लभा जय पद्मालक्ष्मी वल्लभा हरे राम 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 राघवा हरे राम 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 राघवा हरे कृष्ण 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 केशवा हरे कृष्ण 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 केशवा हरे राम 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 राघवा हरे राम 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 राघवा हरे कृष्ण 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 केशवा हरे कृष्ण 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 केशवा हरे कृष्ण Krishna Krishna Keshava, Hare Krishna 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 Keshava. Om Shri Ram Krishna Bhagavan ki Jai.
ओम आशा पूरी गर्बो गाय हये हर खनमाय जगमग ज्योति जले छे माना चोखमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोखमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोखमा
आशा पूरी गर्बो गाय हये हर खनमाय जगमग ज्योति जले छे माना चोखमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोखमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोखमा
आशा पूरी गर्बो गाय हये हर खनमाय जगमग ज्योति जले छे माना चोखमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोखमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोखमा
आशा पूरी गर्बो गाय हये हर खनमाय जगमग ज्योति जले छे माना चोखमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोखमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोखमा
आकाशेથી માતા આવી સૌ દેવોના મન ભાવી
आकाशेથી माता आवी सौ देवोना मन भावी
ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश उभा સાથમાં ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોકમાં ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોકમાં
ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश उभा सातमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोकमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोकमा
આવ્યા પાર્વતી માતા મનમાં હરખન માતા
આવ્યા पार्वती माता मनमा हरकन माता
નવ દુર્ગા આવે છે બહુતાનમાં ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોકમાં ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોકમાં
नव दुर्गा आवे छे बहुतानमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोकमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोकमा
શારદા માતા છે એક એના નામ છે અનેક
शारदा माता छे एकेना नाम छे अनेक
જેવા જેવા ધર્યા રૂપ તેવા તેવા ધર્યા નામ
जेवा जेवा दरिया रूप तेवा तेवा दरिया नाम
માનો જયકાર બોલાય છે ત્રણેય લોકમાં ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોકમાં ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોકમાં
मानो जयकार बोले छे तने लोकमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोकमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोकमा
જે કોઈ પ્રેમે ગરબો ગાય તેના સર્વો દુઃખો જાય
जे कोई प्रेमे गर्वो गाय तेना सर्वो दुखो जाय
તેને પરવી મરે છે તને લોકમાં ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોકમાં ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોકમાં
तेने परवी मरे छे तने लोकमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोकमा खेल खेल रे भवानी माना चोकमा
આશા પૂરી ગરબો ગાય હયે હર ખનમાય જગમગ જ્યોતિ જલે છે માના ચોખમાં, ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોખમાં, ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોખમાં.
આશા પૂરી ગરબો ગાય હરે હર કનમાં, જગમગ જ્યોતિ જલે છે મના ચોકમાં. ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની મના ચોકમાં, ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની મના ચોકમાં.
જે કોઈ પ્રેમે ગરબો ગાય તેના સર્વો દુઃખો જાય,
જે કોઈ પ્રેમે ગરબો ગાય તેના સર્વો દુઃખો જાય.
તેને પરવી મરે છે કન્ને લોકમાં, ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોખમાં, ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોખમાં.
તેને પરવી મરે છે તને લોકમાં, ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની મના ચોકમાં, ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની મના ચોકમાં.
ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોખમાં,
ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની મના ચોકમાં,
ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોખમાં,
ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની મના ચોકમાં.
ખેલ ખેલ રે ભવાની માના ચોખમાં.
ઓમ શ્રી રામ કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન કી જય. વૃંદાવનમે ગોવિંદા, વેણુગોપાલા કમલકના. વૃંદાવનમે ગોવિંદા, વેણુગોપાલા કમલકના. પીતાંબરધર નંદ કુમારા, યમુના વિહાર વાસુદેવાય. પીતાંબરધર નંદ કુમારા, યમુના વિહાર વાસુદેવાય. ગિરિધર કૃષ્ણ ધન ગોપાલા, પદ્મનાભ મે પરમ દયાલા. ગિરિધર કૃષ્ણ ધન ગોપાલા, પદ્મનાભ મે પરમ દયાલા. પરમાત્મા હરિ નારાયણા, મધુરા મુરલી ગોપાલા. પરમાત્મા હરિ નારાયણા, મધુરા મુરલી ગોપાલા. વૃંદાવન મે ગોવિંદા, વેણુગોપાલા કમલકના. વૃંદાવન મે ગોવિંદા, વેણુગોપાલા કમલકના. પીતાંબરધર નંદ કુમારા, યમુના વિહાર વાસુદેવાય. પીતાંબરધર નંદ કુમારા, યમુના વિહાર વાસુદેવાય. ગિરિધર કૃષ્ણ ધન ગોપાલા, પદ્મનાભ મે પરમ દયાલા. ગિરિધર કૃષ્ણ ધન ગોપાલા, પદ્મનાભ મે પરમ દયાલા. પરમાત્મા હરિ નારાયણા, મધુરા મુરલી ગોપાલા. પરમાત્મા હરિ નારાયણા, મધુરા મુરલી ગોપાલા. વૃંદાવન મે ગોવિંદા, વેણુગોપાલા કમલકના. ઓમ શ્રી રામ કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન કી જય.
ઓમ એમ સર્વદેવ દેવી સ્વરૂપાય શ્રીરામકૃષ્ણાય નમઃ.
Om Namo Narayanaya to dear devotees and loving children. Lord Krishna says in chapter 12 of the Bhagavad Gita, one who hates no being, who is friendly and compassionate to all, even-minded in pain and pleasure, self-controlled and pure at heart, such a person is dear to me. Sri Sarada Devi demonstrates that it is possible to manifest these wonderful qualities. We worship God in a temple, but forget to respect the divine in living beings. Sri Sarada Devi's message of acceptance fills our hearts with joy and gives us hope. Her teachings such as, the purpose of one's life is fulfilled only when one is able to give joy to another, help us feel the underlying unity in all of creation. Being the embodiment of gentleness, she said, if one is without kindness, how can one be called a human being? Courtesy adds joy and meaning to life. We often forget to be kind to those around us and tend to be irritable, especially with people who love us. We pay attention to the so-called important things and forget that the little things in life are also significant. Once there lived a lioness in the jungle. Being the queen of the jungle, she was very proud of herself and did not talk to other animals. She was friendly only with those animals that were as strong as her. She ignored the animals that tried to be friendly with her. One day, the lioness went out hunting, leaving her 2 cubs in the cave. On her return, she found that the cubs were missing. She became anxious and searched for them, but could not find them. She then met other animals who fled as she approached them, as they were scared of her. The baffled lioness saw a monkey seated on a tree and asked him, "Have you seen my cubs? I am so worried as I cannot find them. Please help me." The monkey replied mockingly, "Oh, mighty lioness, how can a small creature like me assist the queen of the jungle? I think you should seek the aid of animals who are as strong as you." The lioness felt dejected and began to cry. She begged, "Please help me. I realized that I was not friendly with all of you. Today I have understood that everyone is important and one should be friendly. I promise to be kind." The monkey and the other animals felt sorry for her and assured her of their support. All the birds and animals began to look for the cubs and soon found them. The lioness was overjoyed to see her cubs. When we are kind and friendly, God helps us in many ways. Sri Sarada Devi says, one must live carefully. Every action produces its results. It is not good to use harsh words towards others or be responsible for their suffering. In life, we need a guide. We need to know what our purpose in life is. Sri Ramakrishna tells us an interesting story about a milkmaid who used to supply milk to a holy man. The ferry service was usually not on time, and so she was often late with her deliveries. The holy man once scolded her for this. She replied, "I do my best, sir. I leave home early, but I have to wait a long while for the ferry." The holy man said, "Well, saintly people simply utter the name of God to cross the ocean of life. How is it that you have trouble crossing a little river? You should have no excuse. Please be early the next time." The simple-hearted milkmaid did not get upset, but felt happy that she now found an easier method of crossing the river. From that day on, she delivered the milk on time every day. The holy man noticed that she was punctual and asked her how that was possible. She answered, "I crossed the river by uttering the name of the Lord, as you taught me." He was amazed and could not believe it. He went to the river with her and asked her to demonstrate how she crossed it. As they went into the water, the man was more worried about wetting his new clothes and seemed to be drowning. She saw his plight and said, "Sir, you are repeating the name of God, but your mind is on your clothes. You are certainly not thinking of God. Surrender to Him, and He will certainly save you." The Master teaches us from this parable that the root of all miracles is having absolute faith in God. When we have faith in ourselves and in God, we progress in life. We are always reminded not to think ourselves weak. We must feel that we can do everything if we want to. Why should we allow our minds to be overpowered by anger, hatred, jealousy, greed, or fear? These vices can be overcome through prayer and meditation. All strength comes from God within us. We must be determined to do good and do good deeds. Faith makes the impossible possible. God's grace comes to those who have sincere faith and inner strength. God approaches the devotee whose heart is full of faith and devotion. Swami Vivekananda says, "The ideal of faith in ourselves is of the greatest help to us. God knows our thoughts and feelings." Our Master says, "Many warm themselves in the fire kindled by someone else who has taken the trouble of collecting the firewood and other articles. Similarly, many fix their minds on God by associating with holy people who have realized God through much effort. May the all-compassionate Lord guide, protect and bless us. May we also spread the love and peace among all." Sri Sarada Devi's simple life and profound teachings give us the true meaning of life. The Almighty Lord, feeling compassionate for suffering humanity, takes birth age after age to show us a way to peace. We must try to cultivate these qualities like patience, forbearance and love in order to progress. We must have strong moral and ethical values, a strong personality and a good character. Even as a little girl, Sri Sarada Devi was sweet by nature. She cheerfully helped her parents with many chores. She teaches that if we work together, we can build a bridge of understanding, caring and sharing in order to live peacefully. Sri Sarada Devi said, "I always felt as if a picture of bliss was kept in my heart. I delighted in the infinite joy within. Today, Sri Sarada Devi brings peace and solace to many a weary traveler on the rough path of life." Sri Sarada Devi's life was steeped in service and spirituality. She lived her usual life in an unusual way, simple yet deeply spiritual. Her acts were adorations to the divine, but it was all so calm and silent that people did not recognize her greatness. We tend to get affected by the things and people around us, but Sri Sarada Devi maintained absolute poise and calmness. An unselfish mind is a storehouse of infinite love. In fact, she was love personified. Today, if we are faced with difficulties, we become weak and lack faith in ourselves. We forget that all power and strength is within us. On this day, let us resolve to pray regularly, study the scriptures, and keep good and holy company. A positive attitude can change a situation and make it easy to cope with challenges. Through the teachings and guidance of great incarnations and saints, let us remember that to make a difference in someone's life, one need not be rich, brilliant, beautiful, or perfect, but just show care and be there for them. We pay our respect and offer our obeisance to Sri Swami Nischalanandaji Maharaj, lovingly known as our Gurudev, who founded the Ramakrishna Center of South Africa. From the little seed he planted in 1942, grew the great and dynamic Ramakrishna Sharda movement in South Africa. Gurudev brought the life and teachings of Master, Mother and Swamiji to the shores of South Africa. He organized congregational worship, which was attended by all castes and diverse cultures. He initiated educational programs, emphasizing spiritual education for children, organized spiritual retreats, promoted social welfare programs, educational activities, and initiated welfare relief programs to assist to the poor and needy. Gurudev stimulated the awakening of the Hindu spirit in the country. He practiced and introduced the 4 important yogas, namely Bhakti, Jnana, Karma and Raja Yoga. Thousands of years ago, Shri Krishna blessed humanity with these teachings, by practicing which we can realize God. Hundreds of years ago, our Master, Mother and Swamiji blessed us with their divine teachings. Through them today we have been blessed with the birth of a spiritual gem like Gurudev. The compassion and grace of our Holy Trinity worked through Gurudev and brought peace, goodwill and solace to thousands of Hindus in South Africa. Swami Vivekananda rightfully said, "The Guru is the bright mask which God wears in order to come to us." Om Dhyana Moolam Gurur Murtim Puja Moolam Gurur Padam Mantra Moolam Gurur Vakyam Moksha Moolam Gurur Kripa. The form of the Guru is the basis of meditation. The feet of the Guru are the basis of worship. The words of the Guru are the basis of mantra. The grace of the Guru is the basis of liberation. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Om Kanha kanhaiya nandalala, Kanha kanhaiya nandalala, O murli wala aisi bajaye murali, murali aaja do bhari. Kanha kanhaiya nandalala, O murli wala aisi bajaye murali, murali aaja do bhari. Kanha kanhaiya nandalala, O murli wala aisi bajaye murali, murali aaja do bhari. Kanha kanhaiya nandalala, O murli wala aisi bajaye murali, murali aaja do bhari. देखो कुंवर कन्हाई, कैसी रास रचाई। देखो कुंवर कन्हाई, कैसी रास रचाई। ऐसी तान सुनाई, सुध बुध सब बिसराई। ऐसी तान सुनाई, सुध बुध सब बिसराई। पंखा ऊंचाईला निराला, पंखा ऊंचाईला निराला, ओ मुरली वाला ऐसी बजाए मुरली, मुरली आजा जो भरी। कान्हा कन्हैया नंदलाला, ओ मुरली वाला ऐसी बजाए मुरली, मुरली आजा जो भरी। कान्हा कन्हैया नंदलाला, ओ मुरली वाला ऐसी बजाए मुरली, मुरली आजा जो भरी। कान्हा कृष्ण मुरारी, गोवर्धन गिरिधारी। कान्हा कृष्ण मुरारी, गोवर्धन गिरधारी। काहे मत की पूरी, सुनते मीठी गाली। काहे मत की पूरी, सुनते मीठी गाली। आहे भये ब्रजवाला,
Om Namo Narayanaya, dear sisters and brothers. Let us sit quietly for a few moments and concentrate our minds on God. O Mother Sharda, I don't get peace by attending to the cleaning and other household chores, but when I remember your powerful sayings and do the same, great power manifests in me, and I do not feel the burden at all. O Mother, consort of Sri Ramakrishna, we adore you this holy morning. You have tied our hearts by your affection in spite of our faults. You show compassion towards us by transforming our faults into merit. Mother, you are really wonderful. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ॐ तत्सत्
जय श्री गुरु महाराज की
जय।
महामाई की
जय।
स्वामी जी महाराज की
जय।
गंगा मात की
जय।
महावीर स्वामी जी की
जय।
सर्व ऋषि मुनीन की
जय। पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव की जय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय।
Om Namo Narayanaya, dear sisters and brothers. We will be continuing with our discussion on Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, affectionately referred to as the Master, is revered as an incarnation of our age. He lived a very humble and practical life. The Master's teachings are practical and simple so that everyone can understand and practice them. He was an excellent storyteller and helped people to understand his teachings through simple stories and parables. Sri Ramakrishna teaches us that all religions are true as they lead to the same universal God or Brahman. The following story, related by the Master, illustrates the oneness of all religions, meaning that the goal of all religions is to know the same God. Once 4 blind men went to see an elephant. One touched the leg of the elephant and said, "The elephant is like a pillar." The second touched the trunk and said, "The elephant is like a thick rope or club." The third touched the belly and said, "The elephant is like a big jar." The fourth touched the ears and said, "The elephant is like a winnowing basket." Thus they began to dispute amongst themselves as what the elephant is like. A passerby, seeing them quarrelling, thus asked, "What are you quarrelling about?" They told him that they had come to see the elephant and wanted to describe it. They said, "Kind sir, please be the judge and help us." The man said, "None of you has seen the elephant. The elephant is not like a pillar. Its legs are like a pillar. It's not a big water vessel. Its belly is like a big water vessel. It's not like a winnowing basket. Its ears are like winnowing baskets. It's not like a thick rope or club, but its trunk is like that. The elephant is a combination of all of these." Thus the Master explains, in the same manner they quarrel who have only seen one aspect of God. Each one might be right, but that is not the only explanation of what or who God is like. God is infinite and cannot be known unless we practice spiritual disciplines like meditation and japa. The Guru is a spiritual teacher who guides us along the path of God realization. Although he was an avatar or incarnation of God, the Master maintained the tradition of having gurus. He had several spiritual teachers to demonstrate the need of a guru. Sri Ramakrishna's first guru was Bhairavi Brahmani, a middle-aged Brahmin woman who practiced tantric worship. Under the guidance of Bhairavi Brahmani, Sri Ramakrishna was able to learn and understand the tantric ways of worshipping the Divine Mother. When Sri Puri came to Dakshineshwar, he taught the Master the Vedanta philosophy, which worships the formless aspect of God. Sri Ramakrishna realized this truth within only 3 days. Later, he used to say that God is with form and he is without form. God alone knows what God is like. Master then met Jatadhari, who taught him how to approach God as a beloved child. This is known as the attitude of Vatsalya Bhav. Master learned to see God in the loving form of Lord Rama as a child. In his pursuit of the divine and the various methods of worship, Sri Ramakrishna also studied and practiced Christianity and Islam. Sri Ramakrishna teaches us that despite all these different paths, they all lead to that one same Almighty God. The paths are so many, but God is one. The 1st of January every year is known as Kalpataru Day. The Kalpataru is the wish-fulfilling tree in Sanskrit literature and Hindu mythology. On the 1st of January 1886, the Master and a few of his disciples took a walk in the Kasipur garden house, where Master had lived. Many devotees came to see the Master as it was a holiday. Sri Ramakrishna asked one of his devotees, Girish Chandra Ghosh, a question he had often asked others. "Who do you say I am?" Girish responded that he believed that the Master was God incarnate, come to earth out of mercy for humankind. Sri Ramakrishna replied, "What more shall I say? May you be illumined." The Master then entered into an ecstatic state and began to touch the devotees. They were very blessed to experience a variety of new states of consciousness, including vivid visions. One disciple, Ramachandra Datta, explained that Sri Ramakrishna had in effect become a Kalpataru. Datta named the commemoration of this mystical event as Kalpataru Day, as a result of the spiritual event. On this holy day, the Master had revealed to his disciples that he was indeed an incarnation of God, who helped them on their own spiritual journeys. This incident highlights Sri Ramakrishna as a world teacher, a guru, not just for his close disciples, but for all of us. Thus the Master demonstrated his journey from a young learning disciple to the great world teacher we all revere today. The Master's teachings have taught us that there will always be the need for a spiritual teacher or guru to guide us on our spiritual journey. He inspires us to respect our teachers and always ensure that we follow our studies diligently. The Master has taught us that all paths lead to that one divine power or God. Let us conclude with an explanation of the Shanti mantra we chant at the end of every satsang. That universal soul is perfect. This individual soul is perfect. From the perfect is the perfect born. Taking the perfect from the perfect alone remains. Om peace, peace, peace. The Master gives us a simple and practical analogy. In a potter's shop, there are many different types of unfired pots, dishes, vases and plates that are all made from the same clay. They all have different forms and functions, but they are all clay. When these are merged together with more clay, one cannot tell what was once a vase or what was a pot, but from that mass of clay, more pots and vases can emerge. Thus we understand that all of us have emerged from the same God, and that God is in all of us. Through Master's grace and simple yet powerful teachings, may all of us find peace and happiness on our spiritual path to the realization of Brahman. Om peace, peace, peace.